criminal scum! What are you doing, tippy-toeing around here, night thief? This is the podcast Raw Dogs. Now, pay the fine or serve your sentence. Then pay with your blood! Ah! Oh! No one gets away with that in my city. No! I've been murdered.
I just think red hair looks cool. So
very pirate-like.
Yeah, red beard was natural.
Makes sense.
Hey everyone, this is Raw Dogs again. We're back at camp.
We're so back.
We're so back at camp. We're all
Oh, I
tired.
ate too many marshmallows. And I ate a Scotch bonnet pepper.
We took a long rest, so we're eating 55 burgers, 55 fries.
Hell yeah.
30 bottles of wine. Somehow we're going to wake up feeling better about ourselves.
When you're camping, do you ever try to make the most disgusting concoction possible when you're picking?
Did you guys get the achievement for only long resting using booze?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Holy shit.
But I picked
Yeah.
like fish heads and pig heads and then like a bunch of nasty shit, and I try to make the most disgusting feast possible.
Have you guys ever had head cheese?
What?
No, but I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, head cheese is basically like the boiled off bits from like a pig's face or like a cow's face.
Oh, you're saying like in real life?
In real life, yeah.
There's some things you just shouldn't do.
I'm going to bring some head cheese in.
Don't
You guys
do
are
that.
going to really like it.
Don't do that.
It's really good.
I will try almost everything at least once, so that's fair.
We
Head
know
cheese
that.
is
You
great.
slept with half a Faerun.
Easily.
Well, the cheeks have the most tender meat.
You can sleep with a fish, dude.
Wait, where?
No.
Well,
Tito Heavyhand brought a beer for us to share. You can have the whole other can if you want.
Hell yeah.
Yep. And yours
Show
is a little...
up till my in-laws faded later.
What do we got here, Tito?
Really fun, really cool from Young Blood Beer Company.
That's the name of the beer.
Out of
Really fun, really cool is the name of the beer?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the name.
No, I was saying it was really fun, really cool.
Okay.
But Young Blood Beer Company out of Madison. Whoever does their names for their beers are always hilarious. But this is Imperial. I'm a peacock, let me fly, which I thought, even though,
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Is that from a show?
Yeah.
yeah,
what's it from?
You know,
no, that's from.
it's from a movie.
Is it Blaze of Glory?
It's gonna come to me.
Yeah, but anyway,
Popular film.
really,
Blades
it's
of
a
Glory.
pastry style sour ale with sweet cherry, vanilla, and graham cracker. Yeah, usually, like you said, we do lagers and pale ales and whatever. A little bit different. And again, I'm a peacock, let me fly. I thought was appropriate for Baldur's Gate because I feel like it.
As a druid.
Well, also that I love peacocks.
Yeah.
But I like the way the game just kind of lets you just kind of grow your own wings and do whatever the fuck you want.
That's poetic, dude.
I prefer
You
peahens.
should have been a bard.
Maybe in one of my next playthroughs.
I like the graham cracker a lot in this beer.
The graham cracker is very pronounced, and it pairs really well with the
It
fruit.
is Mark Wahlberg and the other guys.
All the guys, you're right.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I was like, yeah, I can see
No,
it,
is gonna-
and I
it's gonna-
can't.
yeah.
So, the previous episode, we discussed all of the systems and the history and all that stuff. Now we're just going to go, this is a big game. Now, there's a lot of encounters, a lot of scenarios. What we're going to do is I'll mention some of the big ones. Mm-hmm. And if you guys want to talk about your encounters, whatever unique things happened, I also have pre-recorded all of the fun animal dialogue and some different
Fuck yeah.
encounters so we can hear them. So,
The only correct playthrough, though, is mine.
the only canon one, yes.
Correct.
We open in the year of Yar 1492 DR. We're set primarily in the Sword Coast in Western Faerun. We are all tabs, but you can also be the Dark Urge or companions. Protagonists, we start on a ship that's just like barreling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're taken over by mind flayers that are invading Faerun. We're implanted with illithid tadpoles. That's where we're starting. Parasites capable of enthralling and transforming their hosts into other flayers. The Nautiloid ship is attacked by Githyanki warriors and their red dragons, and it flees through multiple realms, including Avernus. Protagonist is freed during the fighting. What did you guys think of the opening scenario? It's a lot to take in right
It's
away.
brilliant.
Gorgeous.
My first time playing it, I was just blown away at the cinematics of it. I thought it was incredible. Also, the way that from like the first person point of view, when they're inserting the tadpole, how it literally made me cringe because I was like, I
yeah.
had to like close my eyes because I was like, oh fuck.
You would hate Dead Space 2 towards the end.
Oh,
No, yeah, and I played that, love it, but yeah, it's very like it's just so visceral. I like when a game makes me feel like queasy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought everything was just incredible, in my opinion, when it came to like setting the stage for how great this game was going to be.
Well, one of the great keys of like storytelling is to start off at one of the most interesting times in these characters' lives, and having this kind, because a lot of times in D&D, and I've noticed that a lot of people start out at a tavern where they meet.
Sure.
And it's just like them hanging out for
Yeah.
like the first bit. This is the way to get
Yeah.
people really accustomed to each other. A merry band who has to stick together because they all have the same problem.
Trauma bonding.
It's the best. It's the best way to learn about people very fast too, because you run into Lae'zel right away, and then you see Shadowheart,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Fuck her, we don't have time." And I was like, "Oh, well,
I'd like to-
I'm kind of gonna stay here."
Also, fun fact.
Do you see her bowl cut?
I actually missed Lae'zel for like almost all of Act 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was trapped in that cage, hung above the.
By the time that I found the cage, she had broken out and killed the two people.
Oh.
I totally missed her at first. It wasn't until my buddy was just like, "Hey, did you get Lae'zel?" I was like, "Who the fuck is Lae'zel?"
Can you re-find her or?
She when you get to like the patrol,
Sure.
right? That's when you find her.
it's
Oh, no
it's
shit.
possible to miss so many things with so many
Yeah.
characters. If you never talk to
Especially early
Asterion,
on.
it's possible to completely miss Asterion. And then when you get to Cazador's palace later on,
Yeah.
Asterion is already there, like strung up with the other 6.
Oh yeah.
So he'll just be there.
yeah.
And yeah, it's wild. That, I mean, they take that into account.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My first dice roll, when it goes, I was like, oh fuck.
Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna have an issue.
He's like we're in it. Yeah.
It's like Balatro,
Yeah.
the levels of addiction.
But and my thing is like I barely ever skip the animation because I just like it so much.
Yeah, once I see what I roll, though, I hit X to just apply whatever modifiers I
Oh,
have.
yes, yeah,
but
yeah.
I always watch it spend.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, big
The
bucks,
one
no
thing I
whammies.
wish I could do more, and this is so nitpicky, but yeah, maybe like customize my dice.
You can.
I have 3.
Do you? I thought you can only had 2. And then there's like a deluxe edition.
Plus, if you beat honor mode, you get a special like golden die or something.
Oh.
I bought the game early.
Oh, so they gave you a special one?
Like
Got
5
it.
days early. I got it.
Yeah, I only have the 2, but I think it'd be cool if you could like customize your dice. But again, nitpicky.
Yeah. Yes, we meet Lae'zel, Githyanki. We need to mention she's devoted to the Lich Queen Vlaakith. We're gonna run into a lot of Vlaakith talk.
Ugh.
And yeah, Lae'zel, she's pretty fiercely loyal to the Githyanki and hates everything
That's
is in
not-
her way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that's going to slow her down.
There's a lot of zealotry in this game.
Yeah, there is.
There's an ending you can get where Lae'zel will come to you in the middle of the night and say, "We're fucked. These tadpoles are going to turn us into mind flayers. Let me kill you and I'll kill myself." And that's an option. You can let her do it.
Yeah, that happens in Act 1.
Yeah, but you can like let her kill you, and that can be like,
Well, that's fun.
yeah,
I
That's
like
down
that.
by the shore. I had that conversation.
Yeah.
down by the river.
As my bard character, once you're like going around and collecting all of your companions for the first time, you find that mind flayer that's like, he's dying.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, you should feel hatred, yet you feel compassion. I was playing as my bard, and I was like, all right, well, he's gonna he's Mr. Big in his britches. He cares about fame and shit. He's gonna try and hold the stair and beat the mind flayer. Mm-hmm. It killed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I rolled a critical miss.
You go in and kiss it, and you're like, the warmth takes over. This feels great.
And then you die, and then it was just Asterion and Shadowheart, and I had to fight a fucking mind flayer with full health right away.
Yep.
I didn't know it could happen.
I won.
Yeah?
I did win.
I just stomped his head right
Then you
away.
had to revive yourself.
Yeah, I revived myself immediately, and since I was a bard, I had the ability to do long, short rests with
as
my
a spell slot.
Yeah.
Shadowheart is a sole survivor of a holy mission to deliver a relic of immense power to her coven in Baldur's Gate. She is a loyal cleric of Shar, and she has some sort of MacGuffin that everybody wants. You know what that means. You know what a MacGuffin is, right?
No.
You've never heard that before?
I've never heard of what a MacGuffin
It's a
is.
storytelling term.
No, it's a classic term. It's like anything...
This is really entertaining.
It's a blueberry MacGuffin.
I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
No, that goes back to the Maltese Falcon, which it describes...
Now, also remember, English is my second language. Not joking.
It's
so,
just,
like, some terms I just don't know.
It's like the plot device. It's what Indiana Jones is after, the Lost Ark of the Covenant.
Literally called the fucking MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin describes whatever you're looking.
Think of the Infinity Stones from the Marvel movies.
I fucking love this.
It's the
I
MacGuffin.
love new words.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You call it a MacGuffin because they're kind of like these old.
It's a really
powerful
now
things.
hearing you say it, I'm like, this does sound stupid.
I just thought it was a Brad term. I was like, this
MacGuffin.
is cool.
Yeah, I could see exactly where your brain.
Yeah.
when he said MacGuffin, I was like, he doesn't. No,
I was like, no.
we're talking about two different things.
The Bingledorf.
Don't call her that. She's a nice lady.
Yes, we'll run into Asterion very quick as well. He is a vampire that can walk in the light due to his tadpole, and he may or may not have done bad things.
He has.
Oh, for sure he has.
I forgive him.
Well, he was a thrall, so.
We encounter Gale. There's a portal. This dude's like, yo, dude, I'd bang you.
I'm like, oh, okay.
You jumped in the portal.
I'll be honest with you, from moment one, I trusted Gale the least, and then later on, I'm just like, oh, you're a dumb softy. Like, you're
Super.
smart, but you're also just so naive.
He was punching above his weight class. It's just like dating a god.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she made him a nuke.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Committed to unlocking the secrets of the weave, love for the goddess Mystra made him attempt a dread feat no mortal should. Blighted by the forbidden magic of ancient Netheril, Gale strives to stop the Netherese destruction orb in his chest by winning the goddess's favor before he becomes a destroyer of worlds. Heavy metal.
Super.
Good stuff.
If only he wasn't such a weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm a Gale stan. I have nothing bad to say about
but
him.
you just want to fuck him. You fucked him.
And then we have the milk toast Will.
Dude, yeah.
I like Will.
I don't mind him, which is the worst thing to say about someone.
He is definitely there.
He existed.
Yeah.
He's definitely the most, like, if you're telling it in story terms, he's the pathetic character. He's one who was a rube all along, whereas everyone else kind of knows what's up because, like, Shadowheart has her memory erased, so she wouldn't know anyway.
Well, Shadowheart is like confidently wrong, right? She'll
That's-
be wrong, but she'll be like, but
Yeah. Yeah. Shar wants me to do this.
yeah, and you're just like, all right, like I disagree, but I appreciate your passion.
Yeah.
Will's turn happened so quickly. He's like, what? What do you mean? I thought I was, like, really helping, and
Devils are not always bad.
Also, me as a tiefling, I was like, oh, it's not that bad, buddy. It's fine. Cool
Yeah,
horns.
I fucking hate demons. Yo, dude, I'm right here.
Yeah, I was like, I'm right here, buddy.
I'm Brad.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
for how he shows up in the game, he has, like, the best entrance, where he's kind of like this swashbuckling weirdo who jumps from place to place. And is he a warlock, technically?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
haven't used him that much.
He's a warlock.
Human warlock and the blade of the frontiers.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
Kind
a
of a dope name.
melee-focused warlock.
Yep.
He struck a bargain with the devil, which he longs to be free of, by Mizora. Calm down, Julian.
Mystra.
No, Mizora.
Mizora.
Oh, you're right.
Mizora is a
I keep getting
campion in
them.
service of the archdevil Zariel. And we quickly meet Karlak, a Zariel tiefling barbarian.
A lot of people killed Karlak.
We are told to.
How?
I couldn't.
No, you
I
look at her
went
and
to
I was
ask
just like
questions.
immediately. I was just like, I'm in love.
Well, it's the same reason that I wound up killing Minthara. I was in a fight and she just came in aggroed, and I didn't even have a chance to talk to her.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I assassinated her after a failed like straight on battle, but I had 2 characters with bows, and I was able to put her to sleep. Then I was able to just hit her with like 3 arrows, and she was down for the count. And it
She
didn't matter.
is the most evil character we can get, Minthara.
Yeah.
Anytime you do something like pet a kitten and tell someone that their dress is nice, she disapproves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kick the cat.
As if I haven't played as the Dark Urge, aka the Dirge, but apparently if you play as the Dark Urge, she just adores you. She just thinks you are just the.
She's like, is that a motorcycle?
Yeah, she just thinks you're just the fucking coolest
I
thing
hear
on the
you
planet.
can-
You killed
Kinda
your
change
parents,
her.
and she has a fan to her
Yeah,
face.
right.
I hear you can kind of change her and make her like nice.
You can
Yeah.
make her nicer.
Yeah, but you lose if you take her into your party in Act 2. You lose Will and Karlach.
Really?
Yep.
And no matter what, even the nicest you can make her,
I hear that's bypassed now. with
Her
the patch.
ending story is
I don't think
always
so, no.
she went to war against innocent people, and she's like, I'm killing a fuck ton of them. How have you been?
Yeah, right.
Halsin, a wood elf druid, which they didn't do any development with him. I know that he was
added later.
he was added because people in early access says it'd be cool if we brought him with us and had him a character.
Can I just say I'm really upset that there's not a main character dwarf, main character gnome, main character halfling.
They're sizest.
Dude, there's a whole Lord of the Rings series. So what
That's not the
what else do you need? What else do you need?
It's
You
what-
have years of content.
Oh, shut up, you MacGuffin.
Quit being a MacGuffin. It's well, there's a lot of characters. There's already 1.5 million words of dialogue.
But they chose they chose the most humanoid ones, and I know why they did it. It's from like a purely like sexual attraction level. They chose taller like races.
Well, and if you had to choose the main character of the game, it's either Lae'zel or possibly Shadowheart that gets like the most story based around
it's
them.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So at least they got a Gith.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Blade of Frontiers though was a halfling? That would be
so hilarious.
I saw someone's character was
Can you
Weird
respect him to be a
Weird
halfling?
Al Githyankovich.
What is it?
Weird Al Githyankovich. It was a Githyanki that looks like Weird Al, and I would role play that.
Yeah, with a fro. Sick.
Yeah, Halsin, I put down like they didn't really do much with him. He was
never
he
really
was,
used him.
He was important for the first
They did
act.
one very important part with him.
All the fact that you can have him fuck you as a bear elevated his character.
Otherwise he's kind of boring.
Yeah.
He's too even-handed. There's not a lot of
I
actual
didn't.
character.
The only time I save scum, like actually save scum, was I could not get him to survive the part in the Shadow Curse lands.
Oh, sure.
I could not get him out of that fucking portal. So that part I kept on save scumming just to save him because I was
Yeah.
like, I did want him part of like my story.
Yeah, you want everyone to live. It's like me playing Fire Emblem. It's like
not quite. No, it wasn't just that, but I just knew I wanted him as part of my story.
Oh, okay.
Right, because druid things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Druid things.
I wouldn't know, man. I'm busy tooting away on my loot.
So those are the main characters we meet in Act 1. The camp is where you regroup. It's where you go when you need a long rest. And a shelter, traveler's chest where you keep your shit, interact with companions, manage your party, romances, and then also withers.
Oh yeah. Real quick on the camp though, I did really appreciate like if you're in different sections. So like if you're in a dungeon and then you go to your camp,
It looks like a dungeon.
you are resting in a dungeon.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I really like that. It wasn't just like, oh, you're suddenly back out in the forest. You're like within a sect
the
or
camp,
something.
the camp adapts.
Because it doesn't take you away from like, oh, I just magically appear in the forest, and like it kind of sets the scene so it doesn't completely rip you away from what you're currently doing, which I thought was really neat.
Fantastic. I love going to camp is always fun.
Oh, it's my favorite.
And it's where you long rest. Long resting advances some plot points, but not others. And there are a small number of encounters I missed because if somebody says, yo, this kid is in trouble, and I was too busy doing other stuff, and then I take a long rest, and you go a bit there, and there's just like a kid's skeleton. I was like, oh,
yep.
oh.
I didn't have infinite time to do this.
You wanted me to save the kid right away.
Yep.
It's also like you use up all your spell slots. You got a long rest.
Yeah.
And it requires food and beverages.
And there's
stuff.
and I was looking up. There's only seriously like I don't know if you can craft these, but I know that there's only like 2 or 3 potions of long rest or whatever the fuck it's called.
In the whole game,
They're like it doesn't really spawn
I've
a lot.
only found one.
Yeah, it doesn't really spawn a lot.
Yep, and certain spells only once per long rest. So
Yep.
yeah, save
Especially those
Yeah.
early on, before you hit level 5, those level 2 spells, you gotta save them.
In Act 1, in my first playthrough, it took me a while to understand that mechanic.
Yeah.
So Withers is a pretty important character that you don't really. I underestimated him a lot. He just showed up and was like, "I'll do things for you."
I just thought he was just like a side piece.
Yeah,
Like a
he said no to banging you, and you're like, "I'm
I was
okay,
like,
whatever."
Are you fucking kidding me, buddy? You're a bag of bones. I'm down. You're not down. You're rejecting me.
I'm not. I'm not going to talk to you anymore, dude. Yeah, you unfriended him.
Yeah, I was
quick.
like, all right, buddy.
He refers to himself as a scribe, a seneschal, a keeper of records, offers resurrection services to your party if somebody dies. You can hire hirelings, and then it is also implied this is Jurgle, the Lord of the End of Everything.
Correct. The original one.
Yeah.
The OG.
A powerful god who willingly gave up part of his divine portfolio to 3 evil adventurers who would then become the Dead 3, who are the primary antagonists for the game.
Merkel, Bane, and Baal.
Yep.
Yeah.
You nailed it. Once mortal men who dreamed of godhood, they sought to take the power of Jurgle, and were surprised when he's like, yeah, dude, you want the job? Take it.
One of the first, if you scroll through like the loading screen, you know how they have like information?
Yeah.
They give that part away very, very quickly.
Yeah.
It
What part?
literally just says it. Like the three
Oh,
evil
yeah, it's like the bottom. Yeah,
adventurers.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll just say it right there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
was
I think it's
what?
part of the lore, though. Like, it's, yeah.
It is part of the lore,
Yeah.
but it also, if the fact that you have withers, and if you didn't kind of know, because I figured it out in Act 2. I was like, oh, you're him. Like, you have control over all this shit.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't get it until literally the end.
I just thought he was a silly guy that I found in a crypt at first, and I'm like, I don't know, man. This world's full of crazy crap. The thing that I don't really love about fantasy all the time is that sometimes it's just like, and then the glibbity glob happened to the gobbledygoo, the MacGuffagoo.
The MacGuffin.
If you will, yes.
Yeah.
The Gabagool.
And sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I know you
This
made
is
all
the
this
this
shit
is
up.
the Dragon Mountain, and there's a chest of unforeseen MacGuffos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
It's like, we better go get that. And then it's just like, oh yeah, and then you're going to fight goblins and shit.
And then it turns out the chest is a mimic, and you fuck it.
And
Worst blowjob of my life. A little too toothy, if you know what I mean.
Ayo. Man, but what a chest.
Did you see the rack on that chest?
Hooray!
That was good.
Yeah, Bane is the god of tyranny, Baal the god of murder, and Merkel the god of death. These 3 are behind the Absolute and its cult. The Dead's 3 chosen control the Nether Brain, a powerful Illithid Elder Brain using the Crown of Karsus with the Netherstone. So we'll find out more about them later. But Enver Gortash, Jason Isaacs, Draco Malfoy's father, the bad dude in The Patriot.
He's
I
the
love
voice
that
of
dude.
Gortash?
Yep.
I never knew that.
If there's an evil character who sounds great, it's
Dude, yeah, he's the best abusive dad.
no, that's Snape. I was doing Snape.
Oh, I was
Oh,
gonna say,
Alan
too.
Rickman?
Yeah, I was doing.
Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
more
he's
like
a good
Potter.
actor.
Ketherick Thorm, of course, J. Jonah Jameson himself.
Yeah.
Yep. What's
That don't.
Spider-Man.
J.K.
I
Simmons?
need pictures
J.K.
of
Simmons.
Spider-Man.
And
was pretty good. That's
Ball's
not bad.
original person, dead, one of the chosen, was the Dirge, but the Dirge was killed and replaced by Orin. And if you play the Dirge character, you learn about that.
Yeah.
And then you're in Act 1. There's a lot of fucking things you can do here.
Because Orin was Saravok's grandchild, and Saravok was from the earlier Baldur's Gates.
yeah,
You
there's
are too high up on. You know way more.
Yeah.
you know all of that, but not what a MacGuffin is.
Yeah, apparently.
Act 1, the Emerald Grove is kind of like one of the cruxes of that act.
Yeah.
It's the early example of how choices matter.
Yeah.
And it kind of teaches you. It's like the World 1-1 in Mario Bros. It's teaching you exactly what you need to do.
It sets the path for the tone for the rest of the game.
And it's a fairly simple, straightforward story. You side with one side or you side with the other, or you try to broker peace.
Yeah.
And I think that this is where the game like truly like got its hooks in me, because I'm like, I don't want these people. I don't want anyone to die, and I don't want the tieflings to be kicked out. And I don't want the druids to have to really struggle. So it's just like, I don't know, I got this whole bag of food. Can I just feed all of you for a little bit longer?
Sometimes the game punishes you too for not choosing sides. And I do appreciate that, where it's like it forces you to like hey, there's a line and you gotta choose one, because otherwise like you're not gonna like either outcome.
Well, sometimes it's literally as hard as threading a needle, because you can do a lot of, I found out, because I had the highest basic charisma you can have in the game, that you can, like, if you get the right rolls, you can, like, force people to do almost anything for you, which is kind of insane. But, like, you can solve those problems through the mechanics. It's all there. You just have to either A, be lucky, or B, know how to do it in the correct sequence.
Yeah.
I was very happy that every scenario where they're like, you have to go to the Goblin Outpost or to Moonrise Tower, and it's very clearly the bad, like where the act is leading to, or it's where there's going to be a lot of enemies. But you can show up and be like, "Yo, what's up?" And the goblin's like, "Hey, man, want to hang out?"
Yeah, what's good?
And it's not until you say like "fuck goblins," you're like, "Whoa."
Dude, hey, I thought we were cool.
But it's interesting that you can go to any of the evil spots, and your character could be evil, and they're like, "Yeah, we will team up with you."
Yeah.
And some of these characters that are very like Auntie Ethel can be companion at the end of the game that'll help you fight the Netherbrain.
Really?
Whoa.
She won't be like full on companion, but she'll be one of
but like she'll be like that you can call upon.
You can get it's rare. You can get a letter at the end of the game at the epilogue where Auntie Ethel's like, it's kind of like a thank you, but mostly she's saying she wish she had banged you.
Wait a minute.
Now hold on, buddy. She can transform into anyone.
Julian just spit his liquid all over the room.
It's like, wait a minute.
In the Emerald Grove, there are some cool animals. There's Timber the squirrel.
Yep.
Which I didn't know I could talk to him yet. So the squirrel was just super angry and like attacking me. And like,
Did you kick
Punt
him?
it?
I didn't. I don't kick squirrels.
I did not.
Neither.
Yeah, totally didn't do
I
that.
totally didn't mean to.
It's super violent too.
Well, I thought it would be like you like shoo him away.
Yeah, no.
I didn't think you were punt him into a tree.
Well, if you talk him down, all he gives you is a hyena's ear.
which
That's
you can
true.
use for crafting.
Which, from a
killed
squirrel,
so
that's a
many.
pretty generous gift, dude.
Yeah.
If Martin brings me a string and he's like, here you go, I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
That's one of your favorite things. You love that thing. There's a boar named Tusk, which doesn't say much, but he's like, where the fuck is Halson? He promised me a mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, when I discovered that I could talk to animals and it wasn't just like Scratch, I talked to everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
There is a strange ox, which if you pass a perception
Yep.
check, they're like, this is weird.
Oh, shit,
Wait,
you can
is that
see
the
me?
ox at the burning? Is that the
No, this is the one in the Emerald Grove.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can
okay.
also miss him at the Grove, like I
if you
did,
fail the perception,
and then you
checks.
find him later.
He'll be in Act 2 and then Act 3.
Yeah.
So here's the...
I saved him.
I got the audio from when the first time we meet him.
You're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint. I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this, moo.
He is not an ox.
Nope.
No.
What?
Turns out. I forget the name of the creature. I wrote it down later, but the ox drops pools of acid when damaged. It
Yep.
drops a glyph of warding. We also run into Alfira outside of the Emerald Grove, and she was immediately something I was interested in. But she didn't like me.
Oh.
There are squirrels, though, around there. If you talk to those squirrels, they complain how horrible her music is, and it's ruining their mood. If you teach her how to make a better song or like contribute,
Which is what I did.
you can go back to the squirrels and like, thank God, dude, she sucked.
I just told her to believe in herself.
Just nod, like, you got it. Go
Kind
for
of.
it.
I was more like, try this instead. Maybe a key change here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked great.
Have you ever played a lute? That was god awful.
Tyler, did you find the Necronomicon
The Necronomicon is that the magic book that you find
with
in-
with a face on it?
Yeah, I have that. It's in my bag.
What'd you do with it?
I gave it to Gail just to hold on to.
You didn't try and open it or read it?
No. I tried. Well, no, I tried to open it and I couldn't get it open, and then I think I punched it or something because I'm a big dumb paladin. I was like,
Stupid book.
fucking open.
Book open.
And then I figured I'll find a way to open this later, so I just threw it in a bag and forgot I had it.
You got to insert something into it, right?
Oh God!
You know
you
what's-
don't mean I have to?
No, unfortunately.
He tried.
You ever fucked a book?
Well, I didn't realize though that if there's also like chests you find that you can unlock, you can just take the chest and put it in your chest at camp and then
Yeah.
open it up later.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Unless
Yeah.
it's a saloon chest.
Oh, yeah,
when you
you
try to
can't-
pick it up, that shit still shocks you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to just do a prayer.
Yeah, you can find the Necronomicon, the Necromancy of Thay. It's a wizard's book. You have to pass a lot of checks to read it, otherwise it fucks you up. That's cool. Auntie Ethel is in Act 1.
One of my favorite
That's a
parts of the
long.
game.
That's a pretty long little quest line.
Dude, that
The
chick,
best boss of Act 1.
that chick pissed me off so much.
That
I
fight.
had-
That fight over that pit. Pretty.
No,
good.
but in my next playthrough, I already know I'm killing her. I'm letting Auntie Ethel kill her. She was so ungrateful.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
I let her revive her dead
Connor.
boyfriend.
Oh my god, dude.
I kept Connor.
Did you?
You kept him?
Yeah.
Like for what? Like a slave?
You have the wand, and he's great at like drawing
Oh,
aggro.
that's
And
right,
like
yeah.
if there's traps, just send him through, and he'll blow
Yeah,
them all
yeah.
up.
I forgot you could
I'm
do
surprised it doesn't break your pact or whatever.
This wasn't with the paladin.
Okay.
that. Like,
I have characters that have morally gray areas.
Yeah.
In my last anti-Ethel fight, though, it was the most climactic shit ever because she did. I killed her in like 2 moves,
Yeah.
and I just had Karlak run over and hit her. And then for my bonus action, I shoved her right into the hole.
Shit.
I just pushed her in the hole.
I've killed Minthara that way once.
that's what
Yeah.
I broke the bridge the first time.
The only problem is you
'Cause I
don't get
couldn't
any of the
fucking kill
loot
her.
that's on
Yeah.
anti-Ethel. Luckily, the wand to revive Connor is in her back room.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, Auntie Ethel is a cute old lady you meet in the Emerald Grove. If you didn't, there's an old. She's actually in the
Yeah,
Emerald Grove.
she's
She's like,
got
I
a-
can cure your eye. Let me take care of it.
Yeah, you can run into her if she's like selling. She gives you a potion.
Yeah.
And
says
she
it's a
seems
help.
sketch. So I said,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, same. I was just like, right away, I was like, you stink.
Yeah. I can tell.
Yeah. Well, I think as a druid, I was like, it gave me an option where I was just like, you're fucking weird. Like, I'm getting your vibe, your nature vibe is off.
Clearly off. Yeah.
Your nature vibe is just off the charts right now. I don't know what it is, though.
You run into these 2 guys, and they're like, she took our sister
Mithrina,
or my wife or something like
their
that.
sister.
Yeah.
Myrna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And then
right.
they
I can't
Marina.
believe I remembered that.
Marina, yeah.
I didn't even get to that part in the game.
and then they said that there's
and then they
a bunch of
charge
what are
her
those
and
red
they-
hats? Like the red hat gnomes or
Red
whatever?
caps.
Red caps, thank you. They're like, yeah, and there's a bunch of red caps here, which is supposed to be a sign of like a hag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you walk up. If you fail
It
the,
seems normal until you like realize this is under some spell.
when
Yeah.
you walk into the when you walk into the swamp, you get a
Perception check.
It's a perception check, yeah, and it's got a really high pass rate. Like
Yeah.
it's like 17 or something like
I
that.
think it also has something to do with intelligence as well.
Yeah,
You
but-
can find a frog that's screaming, kill me, death, death, death.
Yeah,
It's like, something's weird.
yeah. You walk up to a sheep, and then if you don't pass the
I thought you
swamp
said
check,
Budweiser.
Yeah, right.
by the time you get to the sheep, then the game kind of gives it to you by like the
Got
sheep
it.
is trying to say bah, and I'm like, at that point, my big dumb paladin's like, bah,
Bah.
I'm gonna walk right past you.
Body you.
And good day.
A good boss, sir.
When you get to Auntie Ethel's place, you have to go through a little like mini dungeon down there. I got to the spot where the lady was in the cage, and
That's a lot to manage. Like getting down to her.
I thought that if I shot the cage down, it would save the lady.
There's a pit under there, you ding dong.
She's dead.
Oh yeah.
I went back like, yo, Ethel killed your wife.
For sure it was Ethel.
I killed her.
I accidentally killed. Well, I had to kill the brothers once because I failed the insight check to tell if Auntie Ethel was evil when she's like, "These boys are trying to harm me," and I was like, "All right, well, fuck you guys then," because I'm role playing it. I know that's Auntie Ethel, but story doesn't.
You're gonna take you're gonna carry her groceries. You're a good guy.
Yeah, so I had to kill the guys, and then when you show up and you darken her doorstep because she vanishes, and I'm like, well, fuck, that was probably a bad move.
It's also possible to kill her in the main cabin spot too before she gets downstairs.
I think it's
yeah,
impossible.
because she pops
super
in
hard.
she goes invisible.
Yeah.
If you're over level 5, by the time you do that, I got her down to 1 HP once.
Oh, I did that fight at like level 3, I think.
Yeah, here we have a little bit of Auntie Ethel's speech.
You come to my home, interfere in my business, and now have the gall to face me in the heart of my lair. You petulant bollocks! I'll rip your spine out your asshole! I'll use your blood to spice my stew! I'll keep you alive until I've sucked the marrow from your bones. And then I'll bring you back and do it all over again.
I'm a little horny, I'm just saying.
This isn't even the worst thing anyone has ever said to me.
Suck the what for my what?
Yeah, I was like, I'm in.
Tito's wasn't paying attention until I'll suck. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Tito.
Hi, nice to meet you, Auntie Ethel.
We can acquire some pets as well. We meet Scratch, who is a good boy.
He's the best boy.
Very good boy.
Located next to the corpse of his master, he says he doesn't want to.
That was so sad. Ugh.
Yeah, we can just listen to Scratch real quick too. It is very sad.
There's death in your scent, but not in your words. Still, you should go. My friend is injured. He needs rest. And then we'll return home. He calls me Scratch. We were attacked. Cackling, furry things on 2 legs. And their smell, it was strange, rotten, evil. No, I won't leave him.
Yeah, I had to be like, buddy, very dead.
Yo, dude, he's pretty dead.
It also, I have a golden retriever named Walter.
Yeah.
And he's also white. So, like, I definitely have a little bit of an affinity towards Scratch because it reminds me of my dog, Walter.
Yeah, I met Scratch before I knew I could talk with animals.
That's right, yeah.
So he was already, like, at the camp before I heard his voice. I was like, this is changing my life.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a different thing when you have to try and convince him you're not a bad dude.
Yeah.
Just by, like, calming him down and just, like, trying to be understanding. Scratch is great. He will bring you trinkets and play fetch.
That's right.
And attacking, shoving, and throwing Scratch in camp will make him and everybody else in the current party hostile. Everyone's ready to beat your ass if you mess with the dog.
Very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's warranted.
You can bring Scratch along to battles, too.
Yep. Yeah, you can do, animal conjuring or whatever the fuck it's called.
Can't be killed. So if you want to do it, he's safe.
I was like, I am not risking
I
that.
had to look it
life.
up because I was just like, I'm not going to bring in Scratch if he's going to die.
Yeah.
And then I found out he can't die, and then I was like, okay, bless.
Yeah.
Because I cannot handle that.
Yeah, I was like, he's got a comfy life at camp right now. Why would
Yeah.
I subject him to possible death?
To trauma.
You don't bring a golden retriever to war, dude.
Yeah.
No. You bring a dog.
You bring a pit bull to war.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Or a Doberman.
Yeah. Something that's ready for it.
I don't know. My pit bull would be like running the other way. He's a pussy.
Unless
would
someone
mine.
was threatening you.
I don't know. He's never really tried to protect me. If anything, he like sees a bunny and he's like, "Fuck, dude, go get it. Get out of here."
So you can also get an owl bear cub pet.
Is that?
I got the owl bear.
You
I
did.
want that. How do
It's,
you?
it's tougher to get because
It's
you have to
really
go
hard.
through a certain
want that.
order of events to
do.
make it possible. You have
You
to
have to
meet
find
the
him-
mother first.
You have to meet the mother. You can either kill the mother and let the baby feast on the mother, or you can find it at the goblin camp later,
Yep.
and then you have to barter for its freedom.
Yep.
Oh, you have to
Or-
play the
or you
race
can
game?
save it.
You have to win the chicken race.
What's that?
You can also like you don't have to barter for its freedom. You can also get it without bartering. You can like just save it.
Yeah, but then you have to start a fight within the goblin camp.
Yeah.
Gonna do it anyways.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but,
do it anyway.
but I preferred
I'm not
stealthier
a bard.
approaches. So what I did is I bartered for its freedom. It was only like 200 gold. I didn't give a shit. I was so swimming in cash by that point.
Yeah, cash.
You're like, fuck off. Take your
And
money.
I was just like, I'll take the bear.
Yeah.
And so I did, and became a very loyal friend.
The owl bear will move to camp as well, and there can be a scenario where the Scratch and owl bear become friends, and one night you wake up to the sound of the owl bear crying, and it's very cute. We're going to hear from that right now.
Just a bad dream. It's all right.
Goblins had me in a cage, poked me with pointy sticks.
Hush now, it was just a nightmare. We're safe here with Mistress. He'll settle in. Give it a little time. He's still young. I remember Gonwick would let me sleep under his cloak when I was a pup. It helps. Gonwick would be happy I'm with you, I think.
Like it here. Warm fire. Scratch reminds me of Big Brother.
Oh, that is too much.
Yeah.
That hurts my feelings in a good way.
In the epilogue, you can encounter the owl bear, and he's like, I've made so many friends. Krakens, cats, and like he says other animals. The Kraken ate my cat, though, so I killed it. And the owl bear, in under certain scenarios, can grow up and get armor made by Damon. Mm-hmm. So it can be one of your summons at the end where the owl bear becomes a giant armored owl bear, which is kind of cool.
That goes hard.
Or it can stay a cub.
I just wanted to protect my boy, and I said, "You had a hard life. Let's just let you hang out.
Yeah. No more fighting.
No more fighting for you, bud."
Yeah. Did you guys, what happened to Barkus Root on the windmill?
I saved Barkus.
I messed up.
You hit the wrong lever.
I hit the wrong lever.
You flung him.
I hit the wrong lever.
I'm the only one who paid attention to brake and like speed up.
Well,
you just clicked the thing.
No,
you didn't look.
Sent him.
No, I think that I hit brake, but nothing happened, at least in that room. So I just tried the other one right away.
Maybe you didn't input correctly. Or...
I don't know what I did, but I sent that fucker.
Yeah, I sent him.
Yeah.
I saved Barkus. It was really easy. In fact,
You can find him too.
You can find his body.
You can find his body.
Really?
Yeah.
I convinced everyone else to leave because I kept calling them pussies. I was like, you think fucking this guy up makes you look cool? Get the fuck out of here.
This is a bold move.
That's what I said too. Like, you can't do better than picking on one dude.
Yeah.
You look like a bitch. And the guy says, "Oh shit."
Maybe he's right.
You run into that guy later on at Moonrise Tower, and he's getting like talked down to it by Catharek and possibly killed.
Yeah.
For being a little bitch.
So you run into him first at the end of Act 1 when you're at the Underdark and you go to the
the Myconid village.
No, after that, when you take the boat across.
Oh, right. He is there.
Yeah.
He actually he stood up for me because he's like, no, this guy's cool. He actually
he'll vouch
saved
for
me.
ya.
He didn't ask for anything in return. Like, we should all stand behind him. And then everyone fought with me.
Yeah, which was a shame that I
was
yeeted
cool.
him. It was a total accident too.
I did reload. Barkus Root was saved.
Oh, I know.
I
You
did.
didn't have no time for that.
I've done
feel
little
bad.
to no save scumming, so when
That's insane.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just let the adventure happen to me.
Yeah, like I said, the one time that I did was the Halston thing. But besides that, I try not to.
I save scum because I want really nice playthroughs that make me feel good at the end.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm trying to tell my own story.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And you're entitled to that.
No, I know. And I know save scumming is huge, especially in CRPGs, because one little mouse click off and you
you're
completely fuck shit up
Yeah.
all the way down the line. I do the same thing in like Fire Emblem games where characters have permadeath.
Yeah.
It's just like, I can't have this person be dead. I just can't live with myself personally.
I do like that they added that you can re-roll if you have inspiration.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that too.
Limited number.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I always keep one. I never use the last one. I always think like, okay, wait, if I really fuck up, then I'll use that one.
Sure.
But I've wasted 3 on a lockpick and then have like dire dialogue and then been like, no, not
Should've
using
had-
that one.
It's interesting how inspiration works. So characters see something that they like or inspires them. So if you call Shadowheart stupid, Lae'zel's like, I'm inspired. This is awesome. Yeah, that's a system that I didn't pick up initially. It took a while before I'm like, oh, I see what's actually happening here. There's so many systems that
Yeah.
it was impossible to understand everything. I only crafted an item, I think, one time because
The
it's required later on.
the mechanic for making potions is also pretty dog shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's not well.
It does suck.
in the sense of like it's just not intuitive to find.
No. Isn't alchemy one of the tabs in the
Yeah,
menu?
and it's just kind of like hard to get to. And when you get to it, it's actually like it grabs all your ingredients and makes it fairly easy to use. But to get there, it's a pain in the ass.
that is one thing that actually needed a tutorial.
Yeah, it was an afterthought for sure.
Because I could have been making my potions the whole time instead of buying
Correct.
them.
Yep.
But then by the midway through Act 2, I'm like, oh yeah, there's alchemy. And I keep gathering all these ingredients. Fuck. Then I had like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had issues with the whole inventory management.
It's still kind of rough.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know it's better on PC because you can actually pull up
click and drag.
multiple inventories and
Yep.
it's much easier to navigate, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
I can imagine when the console could be kind of a pain in the ass.
horrible.
Yeah.
And it was just cumbersome and obtuse and not natural.
Not intuitive. Yeah.
Yeah, not intuitive. And it was always, all right, I need to, if I'm going to be done for a long session, I'm like, I need to go to the camp for 15 minutes and organize my shit before I put the controller down. That was always annoying.
You
But
store your like valuable jewels and then you... yeah.
unique items, what do I sell? Also in the Blighted Village, there's a shack with sex sounds.
Oh yeah.
All of us found this, I'm guessing, right?
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Absolutely.
open the shack. I know what's in there.
You didn't. The Bard is one of the best scenarios. The Bard and the Barbarian can stop the encounter from going negative.
Really?
Yes. So
Well, I knew they were fucking because I had played a different character before, and I'm like, they can fuck. That's fine.
Gruko, Bugbear, and Boothier and Ogre are having hot and passionate sex. He's a little guy. She's a big girl.
Big girl.
The party can avoid combat with the pair if they're either a barbarian or a bard and pass a skill check, with the bard suggesting the residents of Baldur's Gate would love to read this as a romance novel. And the bugbear's like, you would write of my rooting? And then the lady, the ogre, she's like, your rooting sucks, dude. And the barbarian mocks him. He's like, you're bad at fucking. And he's like, oh, shit.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. Then, a low moan. Someone, or something, is having a bit of fun.
What the hell are you doing?
Yo, you guys need a third?
Tell him my writing, my virility.
Don't want this puny rotting written down.
Puny? I am strong. I am virile. I am...
Enough! Oh, a moment ruined. Passion squished like slow goats underfoot. Oh, we leave.
They were almost there.
Yeah.
I killed them both. I had to.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I let them fuck. And hopefully that when they were done and they saw the slain members of their entire clan outside.
You mean their penises?
No,
I thought you said member.
I killed everyone in the village because I was kind of just like, these goblins are a pest and I'm not going to pretend like I'm their friend because they're just sinister and evil and clearly manipulated by, you know, the absolute.
You're sounding like a paladin right now.
But here's the
Very
thing.
judgy.
I'm a folk hero bard. I don't want my reputation squandered by being seen friends with these lower forms of
Fair enough.
creature who are clearly just dumber than me.
Very paladin sounding. I'm just saying.
Question for all of you: how much did you use your tadpole?
With the paladin playthrough, 0.
I think I did like 2 upgrades.
Okay, so you'd use it in to skip dice rolls and strong arm situations.
No, I got enough. Yeah, it was I think 2 of them where it's like I got enough to do like a psionic blast or some shit like that.
Okay, because there's certain spots where you can just use your tadpole to dominate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, authority.
Yeah.
Oh,
Authority.
Yeah.
I did that all the time, but I didn't consume any tadpoles.
Yeah, I consumed 2 of them, I think. But then when the Emperor tells you that you could become a mind flayer, I got scared.
Yeah, no.
Although you can't. You
Well,
can
you
use
could.
the tadpole as much as you want and take other tadpoles, and it still just comes down to a decision. They make you feel like there will be consequences.
Oh,
which
well, that's
I didn't know that either. I probably would have.
It wasn't until the end.
Someone on
Yeah.
Reddit spoiled that for me. And I still chose not to because I know that my character would be like, no, this is fucking disgusting to begin with. I'm not going to be lured by this type of power.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, it's just like, I just want to go back to my normal life type shit because that's what I knew my character would want.
In my
So-
new playthrough, I want to do a power hungry playthrough.
yeah. That's what them
I-
Githyanki monk is like.
I don't want to be evil per se, but I do want to be power hungry.
Yeah.
You can save Minthara from the goblin camp.
Can we talk about the 3 trolls or the 3 ogres? In the
Yeah,
building?
yeah, absolutely.
I got them so easy. They're like, here's a horn. If you ever need us. It made the goblin camp like I killed the entire goblin camp. We're all running through it. They're all acting on their own. There's a little spider from that pit that keeps shooting shit up at you. But for the most part, my guys all survived. And they're like, you can call on us 2 more times. And I'm like, great.
When I got the horn in my paladin playthrough recently, I got the horn. I talked him into it, and then I waited until I was fighting Ragzlin.
Yeah.
Sure, Ragzlin,
Yeah.
Wait, it's a horn? I thought it was a bell.
No,
It's a horn you blow.
I blew the horn. These 3 motherfuckers show up, and the game glitched out or something because they all spawned and like right around a wall, like to the stairs. They were all facing the
Are you
wall.
kidding me? It didn't like load in?
They loaded in, and they just stood there facing the wall and
just didn't do anything.
Yeah. And then I couldn't even use them. So I had called them in like, haha, check it out, back up. And I got 3 idiot ogres that just stared at the wall.
Because they're honestly, when you're in the the giant main hall off of like Minthara's little side area that kind of loops like that.
Where the priestess is?
Yeah, exactly. If you summon those ogres right in there, and then you have Asterion up in the rafters, and me as a bard up in the rafters as well, and everyone else just slinging shit.
Yeah.
It's the easiest fight I've ever done in the game because everyone is distracted.
Sorry,
I'm putting them to
again,
sleep.
Ragzlin?
No, this would be against Minthara.
Oh, got it.
And the goblin camp as a whole. Because
Once
you go in there,
Ragzlin took me a fucking minute.
once you go in there and you
that was a
start
big one.
fighting,
Yeah.
Ragzlin was my first encounter where it was very difficult.
Yeah, it was tough. It
Where
was really tough.
I lost and I had to rethink and like re-strategize. I got the spiders on my team there.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how I did it, but all the spiders came
I
up.
didn't do that.
And they kicked ass.
They might
were
have
powerful.
changed that now, I think. I think it depends on the difficulty of your playthrough.
I think
But
I talked to him and I opened the door beforehand.
I think now it's like if the spiders come up, then Ragzlin can cast something where he gets the spiders on his side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I think the only hobgoblin, one of the only ones you see in the game.
No,
Yeah.
there's another one in the Underdark.
That's right,
Who's
yep.
friends with the mind flayer.
Yep.
Who's,
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
He's cool.
yeah, I
He's a
like
good
that
guy.
one. He's
Yeah.
a good dude.
The
interesting.
mind flayer? Or the hobgoblin?
The hobgoblin.
Got it.
He's the one in the Myconid camp,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the mushroom people, by the way.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
fun.
They're so cool.
Did you?
I wish I could be one.
Did you
You
usurp
can now
them
with the mods.
I didn't usurp them. No.
with the evil mushroom that wants to kill the
No,
main
no,
mushroom?
no. I killed that guy because I was immediately like, you're just too violent for me, man. And then he was like offended. And then you go and you're about to get on that boat after that whole encounter. And he's like, you took this from me. I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, I'm going to kill you. Let's just do it.
You're a short little fat mushroom. And there's 4 of us, man. Also, I have a big ass hammer. Like
I took his guts
nothing.
out. My Karlach just immediately, I put him kind of to like, it took like he got a bunch of saving throws for sleep, but I kept spamming it. And once he was asleep, it was over. Karlach got like an insta like critical and it was done.
What's your guys' favorite weapon? Are we going to talk about weapons? Or
Sure.
There is a sword when you first enter the Underdark from one of the temples where it is a bardic focus sword. It's a sword that sings.
Oh,
So it's like Power Rangers or something.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got that, and there are like bonuses all for bards.
yeah.
And it's a great sword, so it looks very funny. The sword is literally dragging under the ground on my gnome, which bothers me in video games when capes go over swords. And,
Or through
sure.
through horses.
yeah.
Elden Ring.
It always bothers me, but
Like, well, I have a badass cape, but it's just clipping through stuff. Which
Yeah.
is horrible.
I want it to look cooler than that. But that sword,
It'd be better
I forget-
it'd be better for the gnome, the sword actually just like you could see it dragging on the ground behind you.
Yeah,
Instead
right.
of going
Cooler.
underneath
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ground. Yeah.
But it was the sort of, it was stuck in a stone, and you have to have high enough charisma to get it out.
Sure.
I like them. I think it was the Mace of Lathander,
The Blood of Lathander.
Blood of Lathander.
That's my shit.
That
I
one's
love
great.
that thing.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the weapons names, but legendary weapons.
Oh,
you
sure,
know,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. The Blood of Lathander was my favorite. Like, once I found it, I was like, this is going to be my main the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so cool. And then, like, it always has the passive, right?
With
where
the
it's-
light.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like if fiends or anything, like, they have to do a saving throw anytime they get close to you. Otherwise, they get blinded.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. It
Yeah.
also looks so sick.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the names though of the weapons.
Fun fact for my druid friends.
Well, they're all gobbledygook names.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I had a problem, so I got that cool sword from Raphael.
Yeah.
Right? So then I was two-handing it with the Blood of Lathander.
Wait, didn't he have a rapier, or was it a long sword?
No, it was a short. It was a
Oh, it was a
something,
short
yeah.
sword. Okay.
But anyway, if as a druid you wild form change into something, and then you fuck with your like inventory, like your weapons, and then you change back to your regular form, it glitches out your inventory. So then you
Really?
can't unequip or equip weapons.
What?
And then in order to fix it, you have to go back wild form. You have to fuck with your shit again and then do it.
That
it took me
makes me
It took me
angry.
forever. I was stuck with the Orphic hammer
Oh, okay.
for like 5 hours because I couldn't figure out how to unequip it.
So that's kind of like the main Act 1 area, but there's also Act 1 Part 2 where you go to the Roseburn Monastery Trail.
Yeah.
Rosymorn. There's a blue jay who is like, these eagles suck, dude. They're taking my house, and
Are you talking about the Crash?
this is above the creche.
I never talked to this blue jay.
The blue jay makes it sound like he's been getting picked on by these horrible eagles. So I was like, yeah, fuck eagles, man. I found out later that it's a mother eagle just protecting her little cubs or little like baby eagles. And I didn't hear the dialogue, so I have the dialogue here. So if you killed the eagles, you can feel bad.
Mother! The plucked one!
Oh, Jesus.
It speaks to me! Help!
Intruder! In my nest! This area was meant to be safe! Xavier, get behind Mummy. Fine. Xavier! Don't talk to
Xavier.
it! It might have germs.
Yeah. And the blue jay is just making that shit up. So you just go and kill an innocent family of eagles so the blue jay can have a cooler spot. That sucked. But yes, the Githyanki Kresh Ilek is below there. That's a huge spot.
Huge.
I killed
yeah.
all of them.
It took me hours.
I negotiated.
I didn't kill him. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
I just kind of got in on the wrong foot and in for a penny. Fuck all of them. They're all.
Anytime I had to fight Githyanki, they would just. They would either
They're
whoop my
some of the
ass.
most powerful characters
They would
in the
either
game,
whoop
yeah.
my ass,
And they're all
or-
fighters, too,
Yeah,
so
so
you
it
have-
would just
yeah.
or it would be a fight that would just drain me of all my resources.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lady outside who's like, "Can you steal me a Githyanki egg?"
yeah.
It's like, no, bitch.
Oh, I did. I stole it.
You stole the egg.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to give the egg to a stranger, but I think she even makes the argument like maybe the Gith could be better if we raise them ourselves. I'm like, you have issues.
Yeah, I was like, here's the egg. I just traded it for coin, and that was it.
I certainly talked the situation down. I said, "Hey, everyone, look, I've got a Gith on my side. You don't like her, but get this. I have this ability. I have this power that you guys all praise." And they're like, "Oh, show us." And I'm like, "I don't have to show you, because if I did, you would have to like bow to me immediately."
Authority.
authority, but I never had to use it.
Yeah.
I talked them into it, and they're just like, "Fine, fucker." And then they get on their dragon and they leave.
I killed the lady that wanted the egg. I thought she was dangerous.
Really?
She was asking me to steal unborn hatchling from a culture because she hates them. Granted, the Gith have issues, but no, I'm not going to steal an egg and give it to someone. Plus, Lae'zel.
I like that they're made from eggs.
Yeah, Lae'zel was not happy either way.
Do they have cloacas?
Cloaca.
I don't know.
Yes.
Do you know what a cloaca is?
Yes.
The dream. We
most
haven't mentioned the
egg-laying
dreams that we run into yet. The dream where you.
The Guardian.
The second character that I made was this elf hottie.
Mine was
Not for
hot.
any reasons that I make her super hot, but she was.
You
My
always
guardian
make them
was
the
a drow.
hottest.
My guardian was a drow.
And it's interesting that you make your character and they're like, make this other character. So I made one that looked like me, and the other one was like, okay. And then you have a dream, and they're like, yo, what's up? I'm here to help. Turns out it's a dude mindflayer the whole time. You banged him.
Yeah.
I actually didn't.
Whoa.
I actually don't like the Emperor whatsoever.
I felt really.
And it's crazy because, like,
I don't like feeling manipulated.
I found him to be, like, such a master manipulator, even though he might have, like, quote unquote good intentions. I fucking never trusted him. I just didn't fuck with him in any capacity at all.
No, I didn't either. I knew from the start of the game, I'm like, no, like all this power for nothing. Like, isn't that like the whole point of like a devil's pact? Like in like fiction in general. So I chose basically to just be like so cold to the Guardian.
Yeah.
I was always just like, yeah, I really don't believe what's going on here. Like, I can see the truth in things. I have great insight. Like my character would know the difference between reality and fiction, and you can't prove this to me.
Well, it's like, I thought you were this, like, my fantasy elf woman.
Yeah.
It turns out you're not.
You're an
And
octopus.
everything else outside of that, just that one thing, I don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Even if you were pretending to be a hottie for a good reason.
Right?
Yeah. I was upset.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Yeah, I also spent a lot of time on my fucking guardian.
What was your dream visitor character?
She was the sexiest drow you've ever seen. I put so much time in. I was like, motherfucker, dude. Now you're an octopus.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you're an octopus now. Great.
Although I did find out after the fact that if you sleep with the Emperor, you can choose to sleep with the Emperor in the guardian form.
Yeah, but you still know.
Oh, no, yeah, it's still an octopus.
It's like when you go to Raphael's and this dude's like, you have to have sex with me, but I look like you. And I was like,
I did it.
I know you did.
Yeah.
We know what Tito's up to, man.
Yeah. And then it was like, well, so my favorite part about
The funny thing is everyone else has to watch. Like, they're there.
That, right?
Yeah.
But I do love that, you know, it says that, like, every time.
Shadowheart is grossed out.
It was like every time that.
Lae'zel approves.
Every time I have sex in your image, like, you will know. And it'd be like randomly through Act 3, you're doing something. And, like, your character just stops, like, suddenly you feel chills. And I was just like, callback. Nice. I was like, he's getting laid right now, looking like me. Let's go.
That's sick.
My guardian was the most beautiful tiefling you've ever seen in your life. I got a thing for like devils.
Alfira. But more of a Cape Blanchett.
No, actually, I made her like sweeter looking, kind of like a more of like an Amy Adams type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hit randomize until I found the cutest character that I could, and then I was like, yeah, it works.
What race?
It was a half elf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't really spend a ton of time in the character creator. I mostly just randomize until I find a template that I like.
You just said you spent the most time on story.
Well, story I did, but
It is-
typically I do not.
It is very funny, though, that all of us is like, we just made our fantasy.
Yeah.
Yep. None of us like, oh, just another person.
Well, that's
No, yeah,
that's
right.
what that. Well, that's technically what that character is supposed to be.
Is that what they say? Don't they just say, like, make your, like,
Make
dream
your
guardian or
guardian.
something?
Yeah.
Make your guardian?
You
But
don't,
I
it
think
doesn't,
for the
it
most
doesn't
part,
say, like, make
but-
the hottest thing in the
But
world.
here's
I
the
was just hoping
psychology.
to be able to smash.
Well, the psychology behind it is that if you're a man and you're attracted to women, you might actually make a female character, which is something that a lot of men in the game won't actually do.
Yeah.
So making like a hot female character that you might be attracted to might be some sort of like way of making you think about it, or maybe that was the choice all along. I feel like that's some sort of like really interesting story writing that they did in terms of like meshing it with gameplay by the developers themselves. Because I immediately went to, all right, we're just going to make the hottest girl I can look at.
Yep.
That's immediately what I did.
Yeah.
Now, don't you, to me,
And
that
then
made,
it was a dude mind flayer.
Octopus.
his tentacles though. Oh.
I must admit, I have grown attracted to you. Would you like to have sex with me? I was like, no.
No, yeah, that's like seriously the one time that I was like, no, buddy,
You didn't do it?
no.
That might be
And
fun.
I even fucked Mizora. My standards are low.
Just grab all the tentacles and
Yeah, my standards are pretty low, and I was still
Feels
like,
like it would hurt, like the grip and the suction on like the suction cups on the bottom of those. I imagine.
yeah.
Never mind.
I just don't like to be manipulated. Again, Mizora at least.
I don't want to be
like,
manipulated. I want to be.
At least
forthright.
Mizora's like the worst, but like she's very actively being like, I am the worst.
Yeah, man, we got to have a horny cast one day.
With this, what do you think we're doing?
I don't know. I guess that's true.
In the Githyanki Kretch, you'll run into Vlaakith near the end.
Ugh.
And I got my first game over here.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
She
you got to
obliterated me.
You got to navigate it the right way to have her not immediately.
And
kill
like
you.
I wasn't bowing. I was like, yes, you're not my god.
Yeah.
I was like, you're someone's god, sure, but you're not my god.
I'm like,
I played the flute for them.
Bow before me.
Hot crust buns.
That's kind of how it ordered.
Hot cross buns.
It's all out of tune.
It's not even a flute; it's a recorder.
What is he doing?
Confusing.
Is this hot cross buns? I love this song. He can go.
He has the recorder.
Like
with,
I said,
all
none
the
of my
belts on it.
persuasion checks mattered because it was literally I always got like a +10 to everything. So even if I rolled poorly, I was still nailing it unless I got a critical miss.
A couple more spots here in Act 1 before we call it a day. The Underdark is in Act 1, and it's a way... it's a whole area underground. You can get through multiple spots. There's a couple areas, if you do feather fall, you can just jump through holes.
Yeah. Well, the way
or
to-
you would fall to your death, otherwise you can land.
Well, the best way to get... So that is the way that most people apparently take to get to the Moonrise Tower.
Oh, and that's separate.
No, I know, but getting to like Act 2 in general, most people take the Underdark. There is a way to go above ground, but there are so many dangerous beasts on the way.
Pass, yeah.
That most people don't choose that one.
Yeah. Well, it also the game tells you like you're gonna get your shit rocked.
Yeah, it does tell you.
Yeah. Not that the Underdark is safe, but yeah.
There is the Myconid colony. We mentioned them.
I love all of them. They speak as a collective. It's so cool.
Well, and it's representing a race.
I want to be one. Can't I patch myself in as one?
Modding you can now, but it's cool when they show a different race, an intelligent race in a way that's interesting. They're not just humanoid; they have a collective.
It's like it's like Mass
hive
Effect.
mind.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Sovereign Spa is the leader, but there's an attempt made by Glut
Glut sucks.
to take over the colony.
Ugly shithead.
Now, there's also a dwarf named Dareth Bonecloak and her missing husband, Balin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few ways you can go about this. Now, he is in a situation where he's like trapped in exploding plant land.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You can bring him back. Now, I didn't realize this initially. He was an abusive monster and beat the shit out of her. So she wants him back, but you can cure him and make him return to his old self, or you can keep him like brainwashed.
I cured him.
I kept the potion, which I think at least he's not beating her.
I blew him
How do
up.
you know?
Because you run into him later in Act 3.
I blew him up.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Fire.
You're dead. Well, he's a bad dude, so it's okay.
Man, Tito, I don't know if I want you in this party.
It's also one of the cooler fucking giant explosion spots of the game.
Yeah.
Because if
you can destroy like all the enemies.
it is just
It causes the frames to drop. It's that big.
yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. I have like a 4070 and my computer was still like, whoa.
Whoa, what you doing, bud?
I know the
lot of math.
Xbox.
Yeah.
I know the Xbox definitely held onto a frame for about 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
We also run to the Arcane Tower, the former home of Lenore de Hurst.
Oh my god, that fucking tower, dude.
A former cleric of Mystra. Her partner left to study storm magic, leaving her alone with her dog, Myrna, and her construct, Bernard. We run into the constructs upstairs. Myrna's long gone.
Yeah, this pissed me off. It took me forever to figure out how to get to the top of this fucking tower. And then I get up there and I fight a robot. And then, I don't know, I killed the robot.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened.
You can talk through the robot, too.
Yeah, I tried talking.
You have to read enough books.
It fought me every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I kill it, and then nothing happens. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's the tactician mode they introduce is something I rarely used. Sometimes if I was doing like certain stealth things, because you can, where it goes to turn-based mode outside of battle.
I used it a couple times.
Yeah.
And I had to use it for this.
I got
Like the
confused
first time you end up having to use it, in my opinion, is Joaquin's Rest. That house that's on fire where you learn about the Duke. I hated that. I don't
Poorly explained.
Yeah.
It pops up on you and you're like, am I in an encounter? No, you're just trying to escape flames.
Yeah,
essentially.
I got myself killed a lot from not understanding it.
Yeah.
But that's the part where I'm like, I don't need this part to be turn-based. He's going to be fine if he just follows me out the door, because I kind of knew immediately, because of actual physics, that if you have a contained place with a bunch of fire and it's kind of sealed off, there's going to be a certain pressure there. So I'd Gale fire a firebolt, blew the thing open. I went in, talked to him, and then he's like, "We got to escape." And I'm like, "Well, I think you're." I'm like, let's go back the way I came in, because I went through the side house, and then I was just like, "Well, follow me." And then immediately that quest to find his dowry happens. But I did not need it to be turn-based, because I think it wants you to go through the entire house all the way down, avoiding flames.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You can just go through the side house. And
I'll do that.
Yeah. It's much faster.
It took me one turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arcane Tower is tricky because you're going to get
Fucked up.
fucked up.
Those
like
turrets just fuck your day up.
Constantly watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had to do it where I split away from my group, and then I ran to the side, doing turn-based mode.
Yeah.
Ran to the side of the tower. There's a bunch of mushrooms.
You can
that
jump to.
Act like stairs.
Yeah.
So then you end up going from the side, and then you end up entering the tower at the bottom.
Yep.
And then going up.
Yep.
Because those things just kept on lighting me up.
Yeah. There's some extra like story around that doesn't really pertain too much to what was happening before.
Nope.
Some people in the tower were talking with some Act 3 wizards that were dealing with Gortash, but
Yeah.
it's tangential. There is the Festering Cove, which is a hidden encounter here with fish people and a fake god.
I've never gotten that.
I have not found that.
Yeah.
I believe I did that.
So, home to a tribe of Kuatoa, fish people that are worshiping a figure called Boal, the alleged god of murder. Their god is actually a red cap who's lying to them, but they believe so hard they've given him god powers.
Hell yeah.
And you can sacrifice a companion to permanently receive a blessing from Boal. So you can choose, like, yeah, go ahead, take well. No one likes him.
Yeah.
And you can get a permanent buff. Or you can convince the Kuatoa that Boal is not a real god. And then you can kill him, and then they make you a god. There's a few different ways it can go. I'm going to play some of it here.
Bollocks! Don't do anything hasty now. The fish folk got plenty of power. We can share.
Blessed Boar. What?
Shut it, you! I'm talking to my chosen.
You've slain the pretender. We knew in our hearts the god Boar was false. But you, we see you. We know you by your true name, Maglumba.
A god to the fishes. A dream come true, is it?
If they ask for a sacrifice, I'd suggest virgins, young and hot-blooded.
A great deity needs a great name.
Looks like you're off to a good start.
Praise Marklump!
Oh, hells. Why not? All hail McClumper!
If you're expecting me to drop to my knees before you, forget it.
Yeah, you can become a god, McGloompa, which is cool.
What are the bonuses from that? Because I didn't go through all my stats when I took the picture.
I don't know if I wrote that one off.
That's fine.
Yes, you will get a benefit, though, to being a fish god.
I think it's a charisma bonus.
It's regardless, it's cool.
I just started my second playthrough, so I'm gonna have to find this thing.
It's a hole that you have to like jump down. There's a lot of like big jumps to get down,
Sure.
and you wind up. It's very tucked away,
Like platformy.
I did look this up online. I will tell you this. I did not look up the actions you need to take, but Featherfall, one of the most important spells in the entire game.
And her potions.
Gale never was without Featherfall. So it's like you take some damage, heal up, just go to places.
Yeah.
If it tells you can go down there and not die, I might have tried it at least once.
Yeah. It's fun. I would like to do a playthrough where I sacrifice people and rip their arms off. It'd be interesting.
You would feel bad after a while. I have a hard time being a bad person in these games.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Vengeful, fine. Bad, not so much.
Violence to animals, I will never be okay
I
with.
could never. I could. No.
No,
I could never kick a
muster it.
dog or a cat or
A squirrel.
By accident. It was an accident.
I blacked out. Again. And then, yeah, there's Raphael down here as well. He wants to get that illithid out of your head.
That's right.
The Grim Forge is the last section in Act 1.
yeah.
Built by worshippers of Shar, this fortress has been given a second life. With the forces of the Absolute using the forge, Ketheric Thorm are having people reuse the forge to make more tools for his army.
I mostly used it to upgrade weapons.
Yeah, I made the adamantine armor.
So yeah, there's the Dwergar camp, and there is a true soul Nair who is trapped, and you can help get him out, and then you have a battle.
Yep.
You can either convince the Dwergar to be on your team about it, or not.
Yep.
I didn't, so I actually had to fight all the Dwergar and Nair.
That shit took forever.
That was the toughest battle in the game for me because I was in I was in a bad spot and I wasn't well rested, so I had to hit all of my dice rolls.
Yeah, that shit was tough.
Yeah. There are some cattle which are being used as stock animals, and you can convince them that the Dwergar are bad and they can attack the Dwergar and knock them off a cliff. Which is fun.
that was fun.
That was fun. But the Adamantine Forge is the big end part here with Grim, the giant golem that comes out of the forge. You can craft armor. You have to collect the plates, armor, or weapons. It's a kind of a...
I haven't done this yet.
You didn't fight?
No.
Okay. It's a unique battle.
Yeah, it's cool. That was one of the first battles that I realized how cool the implemented mechanics were, right? So it's like this giant robot thing, and then there's like an actual hammer that comes down.
Yeah.
And
you have to move out of its way.
Well, in order to do damage, you have to heat up the metal. You have to heat up the boss, right, with the lava, right, and then hammer it, because obviously that's when steel becomes more brittle.
Yeah,
right?
that giant piston that comes down.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
So I was like, that's really cool. They thought about that. It took me a couple tries. I'm not gonna lie, but
any slashing weapons will be useless.
Yep. Oh, yeah, the examining enemies was something that I didn't realize till like Act 2.
Super important.
Yeah. Where I was like, I'm casting these spells that do lightning damage, but they don't do anything because this thing's lightning, resistant or whatever.
Lightning proof, yeah. And you can actually see that. There's a really cool way to beat this boss where you can keep a character up on top, not down the elevator, transform them into an owlbear, and then enlarge the owlbear. And then they can jump off the top onto the enemy and instant kill them.
Huh.
That would be pretty wild.
From the top rope.
Yeah, from the top rope.
That's kind of amazing.
I posted the video in the Discord, so
I'm going to watch that.
Go check that out. That's kind of the end of Act 1, though, and we're not going to go into Act 2 this episode. We'll knock out the next two in a week or two whenever we get back.
Cool.
But, yeah.
Brad's going to New York.
In New York. Yeah, I'm going to New York City next
Concrete
week.
jungle, wet dream tomato.
Wet dream tomato.
Act 1 seemed like a full game in itself.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I was impressed. Immediately once it shifted to Act 2 and it told you, hey, Act 2, I'm like, oh no. Plays are 3-act structures. I'm like, all right.
Well, I think Act 1 took me like 20 hours.
Act 1 took me...
Yeah.
Act 1 took me like 30 to 40.
Yeah.
The fact that the Underdark and the Rosimorn Monastery Trail is all Act 1 as well, like that's such a huge area.
Yeah, yeah.
Act 2 is a little more self-contained.
Yeah.
Because it's all like...
It's all the focus till Baldur's Gate.
It's it's just like kind of a semi-guided path towards Moonrise. Act 3 changes everything, but Act 1, I was blown away. When you feel like you've had an entire game already, and then it says Act 2, which means there's probably at least 3 acts. It's really mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Unless you are a Japanese play, then there are 4.
Whoa, that's beautiful.
Pretty good.
Your bard is showing.
Thank you.
Did you get through Act 2, Tyler?
College of Lore.
No.
No.
I'll be ready, though.
You don't have to.
Well, I'm playing it currently, so.
I'm going to play it when I go home, so.
I'm already,
After I finish building my fucking Gundam.
Well, we'll be back for Act 2 and 3. This episode will be Patreon exclusive for the foreseeable future. So if you want access to that when we record it in a week or so, check out patreon.com/HairTheDogcast. If you want access to other bonus episodes, they're there as well. We have a free trial. It's worth checking out. Tito, thanks so much for joining us for these episodes.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yeah, if you're a drow, at me, please.
Special thanks to executive producers Ryan, Chrissy Nick, Kipper, Brian Ward, Jordan Hoff, Phil Wright, Phil Just Phil, Kelly Gutowski, Justin Melly, and Imagine Wagon 69420. We appreciate your support. And send us all of your thoughts and feedback on Baldur's Gate.
Please do. And if you haven't played it, give it a shot. Even if this part was spoiled for you, I'm telling you, play this game. It is the best game of last year. Yep. And I played a lot of great games. And I played Tears of the Kingdom last year. And I still had to let this, even though I didn't finish the game, this still had to take the #1 spot.
Sure. I should beat Tears of the Kingdom.
It's great. It's a really awesome ending.
Where are the Packers at right now, Tyler?
I can tell you in a second.
Are we winning?
We were last I checked 10-0.
I think Baldur's Gate jumped to it's easily my top 5 favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If not top 2.
I could say top 5.
I think it's in my top.
We
2.
are
It's
winning
in my top 10.
13-3.
Nice. I mean, I'd like to do a playthrough as the Dark Urge if I do another one, which we'll talk about the Dark Urge next episode. But I'm hungry.
So am I.
Same.
We gotta go. We gotta go take a long rest.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Cheers. I'm gonna go get some crap.